When just sinners saved by grace.
Hey everybody, I know the series finale, but don't you cry. I have a petition in the description box below, and this petition is for attempting to save the series Saints and Sinners. Now, all you need to do is just sign the petition. You don't have to donate, so please do not donate to this petition as your money is not necessary. The goal is to get as many signatures as possible and turn it into the network, Bounce TV, and attempt to save the series. And if they don't take it, then we'll just turn it into another network and move on and so forth. If you all have watched the interview that I was so fortunate to do, and shout out to the actor J.D. Williams, it was his team that reached out to me for the interview, and I could have did a post finale interview. However, I don't see the episodes until the next day, so unfortunately I was not able to do so. But I have to give a shout out to J.D. Williams, the actor, and his team for reaching out to me to do the interview in the first place, and also to Jasmine Burke, the actress Jasmine Burke, who blessed me with her presence and blessed this channel with her presence and gave me the ability to do that interview. And in that interview, if you have not seen it, check it out. In that interview, Jasmine lets us know that as fans of the series, we can make an attempt to save the series just by having a petition go around. Now listen, she mentioned the fact that the series that was called The Game and that used to be on the network CW, how that series ended, and the fans, they began petitions to keep that series going. So eventually that series was picked up by another network, then picked up again years later. So we don't know what could happen, and all it requires is just your signature. Again, you don't have to donate. The link to this will be not only in the description box, but it'll be in the comment section, pinned to the comment section. And with all of that being said, and let's give this amazing cast and crew a round of an applause for delivering to us 6 incredible seasons of this series. It has been a wonderful, wonderful ride, and we had some very, very strong actors and actresses who were the front runners of this show. With all of that being said, let's get into the discussion. The episode opens up with Rex and Ella at his safe house, and of course Jabari is standing outside with Ray Ray and his goons, and they are ready to enter the place. But Rex, ironically, ends up having some sort of tunnel attached to his safe house, and him and Ella make their escape. Meanwhile, Ray Ray is on the outside saying to Jabari, like, you better not be trying to play me. So in that moment, I was just kind of wondering, was Jabari really on Ray Ray's side, or could this all be a setup against Ray Ray? We see Ella and Rex, they run through the woods, and they run towards a red car where Kendrick is waiting for them, and Kendrick is like, mine. Because listen, there are 3 women in Kendrick's life that he does not play about. That is Ella, Christy, and, well, it was Stacia, but now it's Anna. Hey, put some respect on Kendrick's name. Meanwhile, we have Leona with Christy and Dr. Creepystein, and Christy is still in awe at the fact that Leona has pretty much went rogue, or at least in her opinion has, and seems to be going along with Dr. Creepystein's plan to take Christy's kidney. However, we see Leona slips Christy a blade, so that lets us know whose side Leona really is on. And I was wondering, why didn't Leona just take Dr. Creepystein out herself? Because back in the day, Leona would have did so, but I keep forgetting that Leona is sick at this point and doesn't have the strength to do so. Leona convinces Dr. Creepystein to give her the compound, and he does reluctantly, but then she calls for Levi. Levi pops out of nowhere, wrestles with Dr. Creepystein, who has a scalpel in his hand, and unfortunately Dr. Creepystein, oh heck, it's not unfortunate, we don't really care, Dr. Creepystein accidentally stabs himself with the scalpel during the fight with Levi. Shout out to the actor that plays Dr. Creepystein, good job. And while we're on the subject of hospital staff, hey look, a new idea for a Saints and Sinners spinoff, Cypress General Hospital. Anyway, we have Angela at General Hospital, and we quickly learned that her baby is fine. She did not lose her baby after being basically ran off the road by Josie, who we'll learn more about in a little bit. But Paige enters the room and tells Angela that the baby is fine, but that she's going to do a spontaneous paternity test. However, when Paige got back to the room to do the spontaneous paternity test, it was evident that Angela had been discharged from the hospital, and that sent Paige into an uproar. Meanwhile, Ella and Rex has apparently escaped to another one of Rex's safe houses, I suppose, and they wake up together with like this morning after glow, fugitive glow, you call it what you want. And Kendrick enters the room like a teenager talking about some mom and dad, you up? And he lets them know that he's bringing Christy to the safe house. And of course, Ella is not excited about this because she wants to keep Christy safe. But because Rex knew he had plans to get Ella far away from Cypress, he wanted to make sure that Ella saw Christy one more time. But Ella had no idea that not only would she be seeing Christy, she would also be seeing Leona, because both of them arrived at the safe house, and Ella was immediately defensive. However, Leona explained to Ella, like, hey, I'm not going to let you face Ray Ray alone. I am here for you. I did all of this, blah, blah, blah. I apologize. They had a heart-to-heart felt moment. But in that moment, Leona began to feel sick. And that is when Christy had to take Leona to the hospital. Yes. General Hospital. And while we're at the hospital, we have Miles and Tam. Miles shows Tam that he can walk, but we also learned that unfortunately Josie did perish after that car accident. At Kendrick's house, we have the squatter Anna, and Anna is attempting to pack her stuff and get up out of there. It's probably not her stuff, it's probably Stacia's, but that's a whole nother conversation. Unfortunately, when she does so, Ray Ray is at the door with his right hand woman, and the woman is holding a freaking hammer. Now listen, I'm no expert, but if there's no nails needing to be installed or removed, I'm not sure she should have a hammer in her hand. Anna tells Ray Ray that she doesn't want to kill Kendrick, and Ray Ray forces her to call Kendrick instead. And Ray Ray takes the phone and tells Kendrick, hey, you better meet me at so and so or I'm going to kill Anna. And I was a little surprised that Kendrick still cared, especially after all Anna had done, but apparently he did. Unbeknownst to Ella and Rex, Kendrick ends up going over to where Ray Ray told him to meet him at in order to save Anna. And he arrives with nothing. I mean nothing. No reinforcements, no weapons, just absolutely nothing. Ray Ray's goons grabs Kendrick, and Jabari comes out of nowhere and starts punching on Kendrick, asking where is Rex. And of course Kendrick is not about to snitch on his daddy, so Jabari beats Kendrick up. And he requests that the goons go and tie Kendrick up in the other room. And in that room, we can see that Kendrick is not only tied up, but he's tied up with Anna, who is tied up as well. Anna tells Kendrick that she's sorry for everything that has happened, that she didn't get it before, but she gets it now after seeing that nursery of his and Stacia, and that she wished she could redo things. Kendrick reassures Anna that he was not trying to replace Stacia with her, but that he felt like Stacia sent Anna to him. Divine intervention. Ray Ray calls Rex and lets Rex know that they have Kendrick, which is confusing because Ella and Rex thought that Kendrick was still at the safe house. But real soon, Ray Ray was going to be just as confused because Kendrick was no longer going to be in his presence either, seeing as he and Anna had made their escape from the safe house. And after knocking out this guy, they jumped into a car with Ella and got away. And before I get too far ahead of myself, let's go back to General Hospital, where Christy is with Leona in the hospital room, reassuring Leona that she is going to live. But in that moment where Leona thinks she's not going to live, she lets Christy know for the first time ever how proud she is of her, which really makes Christy emotional, because I feel as though throughout the seasons, Leona has expressed how disappointed she has been in Christy, if you're familiar with the earlier seasons. So for Christy to finally hear that Leona is actually proud of her means a lot to Christy. And by the way, when did Christy get her job back? Paige flags Christy down in the hallway and lets her know that she attempted to give Angela a spontaneous DNA test, but that Angela had fled the scene. Christy alluded to the fact that Angela did give her blood to the hospital and that could be used for a DNA test. So Paige asks Christy to do the DNA test, and Christy reluctantly did it. And the news that Christy returned with overwhelmed Paige. The baby was indeed not Jabari's, and it overwhelmed Paige to the point where she ended up having to lay down for a little while in the hospital because she just simply was not feeling well. And like father, like son, because Rex showed up to confront Ray Ray and he had nothing. Not a gun, not reinforcements, nothing. I mean, him and Kendrick, the apple does not fall far from the tree. After discovering that Kendrick and Anna had both escaped, Jabari began to confront Rex and had pointed a gun to Rex. Rex attempted to explain to Jabari, like, hey, your father was an informant. That is why I killed him. I didn't want anyone else to basically kill him. I had to do it myself, and I had to do it swift and quickly so that he would feel no pain, and then I raised Joe behind. And Jabari lowered his gun. That made Ray Ray mad. Ray Ray knocked out Jabari and pointed his gun to Rex's head. Now, in this moment, I don't know about you all, but I felt something come out of Ray Ray that I've never seen before, and that is human emotion. Ray Ray was really hurt at the fact that Rex had admitted that he raised Jabari as his own. So the entire time we had been seeing Ray Ray act as if he did not care that Rex was his father was actually a shield to the fact that Ray Ray really did care. Oh, wow, because Ray Ray is evil. And even in that moment, he was still planning on shooting Rex. So next thing you know, Jabari jumps on Ray Ray and they get into a scuffle. Ray Ray pulls out a knife attempting to stab Jabari, and Rex immediately shoots Ray Ray, although he was hesitant at first. And unfortunately, Ray Ray does perish. And we can see that Rex truly is distraught because even though he knew that his son wanted to kill him, it was still his son. But no worries, we can still catch Mike, over on Country Wayne's YouTube channel. And just like some of us may have predicted, Leona wakes up in the hospital to discover that she has a kidney transplant and that the donor is her son, Ray Ray. And I believe that was a bittersweet moment for Leona because, of course, she did want to live, but at the same time, I don't believe she wanted to live at the expense of her son's life, as she did express earlier in the episode that she regretted not raising him. And I do find it very ironic that Ray Ray had two biological parents who chose to raise children that were not their own over raising him. Maybe I was a little too hard on him. No, I wasn't. Ray Ray is still evil. And then there is District Attorney Hayden, who I think at this point of the series finale, many of us forgot even existed. And he was on television letting the public know that he was still looking for Ella Johnson. However, he wouldn't be looking for long because Ella gave him a phone call letting him know her exact coordinates. District Attorney Hayden, as well as other police officers, arrived on the scene trying to convince Ella to come out the house. Ella came out just for a moment and went back inside. Suddenly, the house exploded, leaving District Attorney Hayden, as well as the officers, under the impression that Ella had perished in the home. So then the episode fast forwards to 1 month later, where we see Christy and Levi meeting up at New Hope Baptist Church, which of course is Christy's family church. And Levi, out of the kindness of his heart and out of forgiveness, gifts Christy with half of New Hope Baptist Church. And for those who may have been wondering if Christy and Levi would ever get back together, I guess this may be an answer. But in this moment of Christy and Levi embracing one another, we unfortunately see Angela in the background rubbing her belly, pretty much letting the audience know that it is indeed Levi's baby she is carrying. And it was in this moment that Levi knew he had messed up. This portion of the finale gave me another spin-off series idea, and that is something similar to the series Amen, since everyone is meeting up at New Hope Baptist Church. Hey, I'm trying. At the church, we have Tamara and Miles paying some sort of tribute to Josie. We have Kendrick paying his tribute to Stacia. We also see that Anna arrived at the church as well. I don't know how all of these folks sit together after all they have been through. And prior to entering the church, we learned that Paige is indeed pregnant by Jabari, and that is the reason why she felt so woozy when she was at the hospital. But anyway, we also have Leona, who shows up at the church, giving everyone a certain look. And in the end, I don't know about you all, but I have a feeling based off of the look that Leona gave that I don't know. It's not over. It's not over. But anyway, at the very, very end, we have Ella and Rex living their best life somewhere far away in the tropical climate. We know for certain now that Ella did not blow up in that house and that it was all a setup to make it look like she killed herself in that house so that the police would stop looking for her. And listen, they're just enjoying the fruits of their labors. No, really, look, they have fruit. Get it? Anyway, that is it for the series finale of Saints and Sinners. Y'all, it has been a wonderful, wonderful ride. I really, really appreciate every single one of you who have stuck out this ride with me. I appreciate your support. I don't believe it's over. It doesn't have to be over. I'm not saying anything may happen next month, anything may happen next year, but if we get this petition going now, there's no telling where it can be in the future and if we can bring this show back. So it won't hurt to try. So again, I'll leave the link in the description box below to the petition that you can sign. You don't have to donate. It will also be pinned to the comment section. And that is it. Y'all blow up the comment section with your comments, and I will talk to you soon. Peace.